Hey guys, Steve here with Scotch and Things. I know my last video I just uploaded was about this GoPro, and that's not what this video is about, but literally it charged to 100% all last night. And then literally 8 hours later, I went to use it, dead, 100% dead. So if I went to use it and I had to grab the cord to make this video, and their cord they send with you is ridiculously short. So I'll be by Best Buy this Saturday. I'm gonna definitely take it in and get something done with this thing because it's becoming very problematic. So that's not what this video is about. This video is about kind of a one-year update on life being a CCW holder. So it's almost the end of February now, 2018, and in December of 2016, me and a buddy decided, to go ahead and take our concealed carry class. And then it takes a while to do the paperwork, fingerprinting, and all the background checks before you actually get. So it's been about a year since I actually received my license. So I just kind of wanted to update you on what that's been like, do's and don'ts that I've found out maybe. Is everybody stopping? And what caused me to get it. So let's go back. So, I mean, for years, literally for years, I had been talking about getting my CCW permit. And it was just always one of those things, oh yeah, I'm gonna get it done, I'm gonna get it done. And I wanted to do it, but there was just this weird procrastination. My buddy's like, hey man, he was kind of the same way. He's like, let me know when you go take it and I'll take it with you. So finally, kind of fast forward, I mean, we'd been talking about this for 2 or 3 years. It was just kind of, oh yeah, we gotta get done, we gotta get done. And I lived in a larger town, 800,000+ people. It's not super dangerous, but it's just one of those things, like the kind of days we live in that makes you think, and it's like, okay, this is something I might need. Well, fast forward, we moved to a smaller town, career change, all that good stuff. I think you can watch that in past videos. I'm downtown walking with my girls one day. Mind you, it's a small town. Low crime, but there is crime. Does that make sense? It seems like there's a meth problem because it's a smaller town and you're so close to everything, or you're right off the interstate. So it's a little give and take. It's safe, but it's not. Does that make sense? Not like people are getting shot every day or anything like that, but I'm just saying. I'm walking downtown with my girls, and hold on, pull in here real quick. Emergency management. We pull in, we're walking down the street, and all of a sudden I see this dude walking towards us, and I can see the hilt of a sword sticking out of behind his head. And I, slowly get the girls over and put myself between him and the girls and get the girls as close to the building as I can, kind of into a doorway. And let's be honest, the dude was just probably some comic book nerd going to the comic book shop to role play or do whatever. But still, it made me think, like, what the heck? I didn't even have a pocket knife on me that day. So that kind of really changed my mind thinking right there, where the procrastination was over. That was in November, and then so December, as soon as I had some time, I took the class. It was just that you'll never really know when you're gonna need it. That changed my mind. Like, it stopped me from procrastinating. So, and kind of jump started me going. Like I said, there was no threat. The dude was just probably going to the comic shop or something like that, or taking to his friend's house. He didn't make any, overt gesture. There was nothing like that. But it just, that thought of, if he wanted to, he had a weapon and I didn't, or he could have done something and it would have been hard for me to protect my family. And that's what all this, it's not, oh, I'm a cool guy, I carry a gun. It's, I got this license to protect myself, obviously, but most importantly, my family. I've got 4 young daughters, and we live in a crazy world, and I didn't want to ever be in the opportunity where I couldn't protect them. So that's why I got it. I got to run in here real quick to the courthouse, so I can't carry, and I'll be right back. Okay. Hey guys, I'm back. That's one of the things about living in a small town. The DMV is not always open every day, and that really sucks. I had a question for them, and I thought they were open Tuesday, Friday. Go in, sign, no, Thursday, Friday. So I'll have to come back later in the week. No big deal, because like I said, I'm not doing anything in the winter except making videos for you guys. Okay, stop my story real quick. I know we're talking about everyday carry, and in some past videos I've mentioned, you know, the Glock 43 was the perfect carry weapon, and now recently I've updated my EDC and I've been doing the 26 a lot. But what I've said is, you know, I don't, you know, want to brandish my weapon, and I'm not going to brandish it. I mean, I'm in my car, it's kind of hidden. But the 43 in the sticky holster, sorry, this is hard doing one hand and everything, but this just slides right in my sweatpants here. You know, they're not sweatpants, they're like, you know, Under Armour athletic pants, and you cinch them up tight and it keeps a real nice grip. Put that down there for now on the weapon. And so I do carry, like I said, right now the 26 is my EDC usually, unless I'm in like sweatpants or like athletic shorts, because that's where that 43 really shines. I mean, it shines everywhere, but to me that's where it's kind of in its own zone, because it's tiny, it conceals real easy, and one of those sticky holsters that works really well when you can't really use Kydex. So all right, that's where I found like the 43 has fallen into my EDC carry lineup, is just in when I don't have a belt on, so I can wear Kydex. You guys, I've talked about that before, so you can go watch those videos. I'll link them below. All right, back to 1 year later, 1 year with my concealed carry. I don't want to try and make this real long and drawn out. I just want to kind of, you know, tell you my story, or how it kind of evolved and happened. So, and I'd always been kind of looking at, and actually I had two buddies that we were kind of talking and about getting them and looking for classes. So like I said, I'd moved, so I had one friend an hour and a half away and one friend 30-40 minutes away, and we all kind of want to take it together, and driving isn't a big deal for me. So, you know, I've lived in much larger cities where, I mean, to drive 45 minutes to an hour just to another suburb was not that was just an everyday occurrence, just because of traffic. So I had no problem if I had to drive an hour and a half. They had no problem if they wanted to come down to me. And that's the thing, man. Once you started realizing it or researching it, the amount of people who offered conceal and carry classes was insane. So then you start looking at, all right, well, what are their ranges like? What are their, I mean, it was like kind of, if you looked on their websites, it kind of went through the content, and we realized, hey, it's wintertime in here in Nebraska, and happened to be that day it did nothing but sleet all day. So I'm glad we didn't, because I've got no opposition to shooting outside, but, you know, I'm not gonna put myself in that situation to, you know, sleeting, freezing rain if I don't have to. So we know, okay, we want to find the outdoor classes, the places that offer the shooting part outside are out. Or we wanted also a place that, some places you have to, we wanted a place that had their own range. You know, some places where here's the classroom, and then you have to drive to a range to shoot, because they don't have their own range on site, and that just seemed like a hassle. We wanted kind of an all-in-one, and we found in Omaha, I'll say their name, 88 Tactical. Very nice facilities. It was fairly new at the time. I mean, their facilities are top-notch, and bam, I mean, they just happened to have some openings on a Friday that worked out for everyone involved. It was real easy to sign up. I mean, right from your phone on their website, you signed up, and reserved you paid for it and reserved a spot in class, and that was great. And it was a full day, 8 or 9 hours, and it was mostly classroom. Really, the shooting part of the quals is just at the end of the class, and first you do some practice, and then you get into your qualifying. And what's most important is just the classroom, the knowledge that they give you, which is great. And I don't think once you're qualified, once you take your CCW class, I don't think you're done. I don't think you can, not, and I've said this in other videos, I think you need to practice. If you're going to carry a gun, you need to be proficient with that gun, because you don't want to shoot. If something were to happen and you were to have to draw your pistol, one, it's always knowing what's your backstop, stuff like that, but if you can't hit the broadside of a barn, then what's the purpose? You're more likely to hurt yourself or someone else. That's just my opinion. I know there's other people out there that say, hey, everybody's got the right to carry a gun. That's great, but I hope if you carry a gun, you have training, get training. Back to the class. The class was great, like I said. They warned you, and one thing I did kind of have a problem with is they warned you, you're only going to get 2 warnings if you do something wrong or are dangerous or flag someone. The guy next to me was rocking a Serpa holster, which just, those things always make me nervous. He did flag me twice. My buddies were behind me. We shot in rotations, and it was nervous. When you do the whole check, check to your left, check to your right, check behind you. He was constantly said gun up in the air. They had our guns were, instead, down or up in the safe direction. He was constantly just, flagging me. And he was warned a couple times and nothing happened. And, I don't want to say anything negative about 88, but I think we started to get the feeling of there's talk, and this, I don't want to say this is like this for every class, but it was a lot of talk. But then it's a business, they're trying to make money, and they want to push people through that class. That's just the kind of feeling we got. There was weird, people, you can carry whatever gun you want, fine. But a couple people showed up with a 22. And if that's what they're comfortable carrying, fine. A guy had bought this as a Christmas present for his wife and young son, and she showed up with a 22, never shot it before, didn't know. When the instructors, and this is what's, good for them for taking the time and getting her through the class, but when they have to show her how her gun works, that was a little upsetting and off-putting. Like, if you read the course description, it's like, have a good understanding of your firearms manual of arms, this and that, all that stuff. And they didn't. Her son's gun broke during the class, doing the shooting part, and they had to lend him out a Glock 19. It was just kind of, we felt kind of off-put, I'll just say it, when we were done with the class. All right, so I feel like I've spoke quite a bit on the class and what led to it. Now let's get into the year of carrying. Like I said, I bought that 43 specifically for carry. I wanted something small. I had a 19, but I felt like I think this every first time, or for the most part, unless you're some tactical operator guy, I think if you're first time carrying a gun, you want something small, so you're always worried about printing. And I made all those common mistakes. I'm constantly, I was constantly touching the gun to make sure it was there. Even though I watched a lot of videos and people said don't do this, you still do it. It's just, until you really get comfortable that it's there and know it's not going anywhere, it's just one of those things. It's okay, it's there, it's in place. And really, like I said, I just went in the courthouse, so I took my gun out there. I do follow the courthouse, banks, stuff like that. It's when you get used to carrying, it's hard. Like, I was walking into the bank one day and realized, oh shit, I got my gun on me, and running back. Schools, I really try and pay attention to stuff like that. Like here in Nebraska, if a business puts up one of those signs, you can get a ticket for it. You can, I don't know if it's just a misdemeanor or whatever. I just know that it is not like some states where it's suggested, hey, here's a sign, we would really like it if you don't bring a gun in. Nebraska's not like that, and I think that's wrong. So I try and pay attention, and then I just won't I won't go in, and I haven't ran into a lot of those businesses that post signs. Quick story, we were in Lincoln, and the girls were at a volleyball game, and went to a Wendy's, because they have to put the sign in a, you know, a place where it's easily to see and all this stuff. Well, walking in, no sign. It wasn't until we were walking literally out of the building that the sign was there. And I took a picture and threw it on Instagram and thought that was a real joke. You know, it's not until you're leaving the building that you see the sign. And I just won't eat there again. I don't know if it's all Wendy's or if this was just, you know, because they're all franchised, if this was just this owner's thing. So other things, I mean, I've gotten real comfortable, like, you know, I'm sorry, sometimes I carry, you know, it's a sad state, but, you know, that you have to think about bringing a gun to church. I mean, think about it. You're in a building, you know, with very few exits, and it's, people know it's a target-rich environment, and I don't want to think like that, but sometimes you just kind of have to. You know, you're real kind of, you plan, I think you plan on where you're going more. So since I've had my license, we've had 2 vacations out of state that I've been able to carry to. Like, we went into a neighboring state, Colorado. I've got a great app on my phone that lists your you know, all the states that share reciprocity with you, reciprocity, whatever it's called, and some that don't. And I thought about getting my Minnesota license. That gives me a couple more states. I just haven't yet. But it's, you know, when you have to kind of plan where you're going, like, I'm pretty lucky. I'm in the middle of the country, you know, and everybody around all the states are pretty much the same. It's just like Minnesota and some others that are, but I don't go there that often. But it does make you think, having this license, you know, where are we going? Where are we going on vacation? Am I going to a state that's friendly to my permit, or gun friendly in general? So those things kind of play in. Really, it's been pretty uneventful. Like I said, you get more used to carrying the gun. Even my wife, who thought it was silly at first, just because she's just that, she doesn't mind guns, but she's like, you don't need to carry a gun. She sees me putting it on all the time now, and she knows, like, what are you doing? I'm going down the safe, I'm switching out guns or something. And she's like, oh, okay, whatever. And it's, even to her, it's just part of life now. So I'm trying to think of anything else. I mean, really, it's not, if you're thinking about getting one, get one. Also get training. But really, once you're used to it, it's really just another, you know, like putting your wallet in. And once you're comfortable with carrying it, I mean, like, I was real worried about printing at first, and not at all now. Like I said, during the winter, I'll carry my 19, but even in the summer, I can get away with it. So, and I don't print much. So, if you're thinking about doing it, go ahead and don't procrastinate like I did. Just find a class, sign up. You know, make sure you're familiar with your weapon, though, before you go. Just not only for yourself, but for the courtesy of the teachers and the other students. Get yourself a good quality holster. That was another thing. A lot of people said how much money they spent on holsters. I did a lot of research. Now, I think I was really lucky finding Green Force Tactical, who I ended up choosing. I haven't. I've bought 2 holsters. Both of them were from Green Force for 2 different guns. They're really comfortable. I just feel really lucky that I got that right and haven't spent a lot of money. I'm trying to think what else. You know, I'll make other videos, but it's really just, it's just deciding to do it and taking the class and doing it. One, if you're going to do it, like I said, look for a good reputable school or teacher. Make sure you're proficient with your weapon, and then just go do it. Because that was the thing. Like I said, I procrastinated for like 2 or 3 years, and really 8 hours of my life wasn't bad to have it done. So now I've got it for 5 years. I'll renew it when it's, you know, and then once you get it, continue to train with that weapon. I think that's one thing people don't do, is they get it and then, you know, or if you get it, carry a gun. A lot of people get it, like my buddy, we took it on the same day, we got our licenses around the same time, and literally he finally carried for the first time 2 months ago. I mean, he'd had it almost a full year. So I think you're doing yourself and everyone else a disservice if you go through the training and then don't carry. So I'm just trying to think of what else. I don't want to just ramble, but really it's been an uneventful first year. I've never felt the need to pull, and I probably never will. God hoping I never have to, but it's one of those things that if something were to happen, at least I have something to protect myself and my family, and that's why I did it. It's not to be some cool gun guy, because that's not me. I like firearms. I like shooting. It's a hobby. It's a passion of mine. But I did this to protect myself and my family, and you know, that's it. I know this is kind of getting into a long video, so I'm sorry if you've stayed through my ramblings. That's what these long ones kind of are. That's just my life, my 1 year with a concealed carry permit. Nothing exciting's happened, which is I think what you want. You don't want to be, you know, some gunfighting guy. That's, you know, that's not who I am. That's not what I want to be. I just do this, like I said, to protect myself and my family. So that's it. I'm going to Walmart. I'm going to carry, put my gun back in my pants, and if I think of any more things, I'll make follow-up videos. But like, you know, go ahead and like, share, subscribe. I appreciate everybody's support. Growing the channel's been a lot of fun, seeing all the new subscribers. If you have your concealed carry, drop a comment below. How was it for you when you first started carrying, or what are some problems or issues that you might have had to face that you didn't think, you know, was it as easy as your first year was for me, or was it just really uneventful? Or did you find different challenges? Did you have a hard time finding the right gun, the right holster? So go ahead and please, I really like interacting with you guys. Even the comments I get blasted on. It's funny, some guys just like, they come in, watch the video, and like, hey, you suck, die, stuff like that. That's funny. But I really, really drop a comment. I read them all. If it's just I try and answer you guys back if it's like something that we can talk about. Sometimes if it's just like, hey, you know, nice video, good job, or you suck, you know, I'll just give that a thumbs up. I don't think those are, you know, those are statements. I don't think they need responses from me. But like I said, I love interacting with you guys. So all right, this video is way too long. Sorry about that. But all right, talk to you guys later. I'm out. Bye.